the 60th pick in the 2016 NBA Draft, the Utah Jazz select Tyrone Wallace from the University of California, Berkeley. Good night, everyone.
Yeah, it took a lot of trust, actually, to trust my agent, because he was the one telling me that, it was better off to not get drafted. And, I'm a kid like everybody else, wants to hear their name called on that night. And I threw a big draft party with family and friends. And to go through that whole night and to know that, I think the worst part, I could have dealt with it if I didn't know the process of how it works, but to know that there were teams that wanted to draft me and stash me or whatever they call it, put me in a D-League, and to have to turn that down, and make it look like, I just didn't get drafted. I think that was the part that I struggled with the most. But, as soon as that night was over, obviously you're trying to figure out what's the next move. And, we talked about different scenarios and things that I could do and came away with Toronto.
That it?
I think so.
Winner, a leader, just a true point guard. The guys shots, compete, do whatever the team needs to contribute towards winning. I think first time I started bouncing the ball, I was 5 years old, and ever since then, my dream has been to get to the NBA. For me, it's almost life and death. That's how bad I want it, and that's what I strive for every day. Leave nothing out there on the floor and go home with no regrets. Just towards a winning culture here, great organization, great team, and just want to be a part of that winning culture going forward.
It was an all-out battle between the Wichita State Shocker and the Canadian kid Brady Heslip, but in the end, VanVleet is the 15th man on your Toronto Raptors squad. Toronto Raptors have made their decision, and Fred VanVleet is their guy.
He's a true point guard. Yeah. He knows how to play the game. And to me, if you're going to go down the list and you're going to look down the bench if you're a head coach and you have to pull on your third point guard, you want to have confidence that that guy is not going to try and play out of character to get more minutes. He's going to do what you need him to do. And I think Fred VanVleet did a great job creating that confidence. He had multiple opportunities and he took advantage of them. And I always have respect for guys who have to grind it out to get in. He grinded it out, he got his job, and he's rewarded with a contract.
So we played Washington, I think, was the last preseason game. Flew back pretty late, landed about 1:30 or so. And as we were getting off the plane, I just told the 5 or 6 remaining guys that were trying for that spot to meet in the lobby, the hangar lobby there. And each guy had their individual meetings, and I was the last to go. And Coach Casey and Jeff, put us in and just told me that they were glad that I would be a part of their team this year, and told me things I did well, things I can do better. But overall, just a very positive meeting, and I was trying to hold it all in and just take what they were saying. But in the back of my mind, I was just happy that that part of the process was over and I could exhale in that sense, and then get right back to work in the morning. Fred VanVleet, I'm from Rockford, Illinois. I spent 4 years at Wichita State University. That's all I got. You know, kind of rough city overall. Not the greatest place to live in the world. I'm not one of those guys that brags about how hard it is for me growing up because it was normal. And, you know, in perspective, from my friends and kids that I grew up with, I had it great. I was like the rich kid in the neighborhood, you know, but it took me to get to college before I realized that, you know, my family was low class, middle class as well. So I had it good, in my opinion, growing up. My parents, you know, both worked and worked their tails off for me and my brothers to have, you know, a good life and not have to worry about anything. And they allowed us to be kids. But once you leave home, you know, there's only so much a parent can do to protect you. So we went through our own struggles and wars in school and in the neighborhood and everything. But I think all of that just made me who I am. And, you know, I love where I'm from and I embrace it. And just trying to bring some positive change back to the area. But tough place to live. But in the end, it just made me stronger. You know, unfortunately, I lost my father when I was 5. He was murdered in Rockford, and he was into some things, you know, maybe shouldn't have been, but he was just trying to provide for the family. My grandparents stepped in, and they all, you know, it was a group effort, you know. It took a village, you know, for me and my brother, and then eventually my mom met my stepfather now. Wasn't our friend, you know, for sure, I could say that, but he provided. And, you know, he was a strong male figure of my life and put food on the table, roof over our heads. Like I said, we had no worries. As the years went on, our relationship, you know, the dynamic of that changed and grew. And, you know, to this day, I call him my dad. So I was blessed to have him come into my life. And, obviously, I think everything happens for a reason and it lined up the way it was supposed to. 50% of it is natural, and it's just my natural demeanor because, you know, I'm like that off the court as well. I'm just naturally a calm person. But the other half comes from, you know, the way I was raised and the way I came up and being tough and having to go through different things that, you know, that shaped me into who I am today. So, you know, I was always playing with guys older than me. So I had to do a lot of sitting and watching and learning. And, you know, not being able to talk and, you know, my voice wasn't really respected at the time. And just had to be the guy in the corner who was watching everybody else and learning. And I think, you know, that also played a big part. Everything happening all over again. I'm not the youngest guy on the team, but obviously being a rookie, we're pretty much all in the same boat. So get to sit back and learn from the older guys and, you know, speak when it's, you know, convenient for me. I definitely not trying to, you know, overtalk anybody, but just being able to sit back and learn. But at the same time, keep those guys honest when I get the chance in practice and scrimmages and everything like that. Definitely not backing down or anything close to it.
Powell finds VanVleet. Look at that wizardry by VanVleet.
And it's a blessing that I'm in this position. I'm really lucky to be a part of this group. But like, you know, from top down, DeMar and Kyle and those guys all the way down to me and Jakob, it's just good guys and it's a great environment to learn and get better. And also be competitive. For me personally, man, a lot of energy, toughness, and just having fun with it. Like, I try to explain to people, but it's hard, like, because I'm not super emotional or like, you know, demonstrative, but like I'm really living my dream. Every day I wake up, you know, some guys struggling, like, I don't want to be here, I don't want to go to practice, but for me it's like, this is my dream. I've dreamt of this moment since I was a kid, and to finally be here, you know, it's just surreal, and it makes me work that much more harder. Like, after they told me I was on the team, I probably had the most enthusiastic workout ever the next morning. So I'm gonna just bring that mindset and that attitude every day, try to get better. And when the opportunity calls, stay patient. But when I get in there, I'm not leaving nothing out there. I'm playing every day like it's my last. It's weird, man. And I'm not gonna get super religious on you or anything, but I'm a spiritual person, and like my whole life has been like that. And for things to line up the way they have is just amazing. It can't be a coincidence. From high school or AAU to my whole college team was the same way, and now to be here on the highest level, and you still are with other guys who, like you said, maybe cast-offs or people doubted them, things like that. And I think to me, those are the most dangerous people and dangerous teams because they always have that chip on their shoulder and able to put in that work every day and have that extra motivation to go the extra mile. So I'm super glad to be a part of a group like that, and hopefully, we can produce.
It's the NBA D-League Finals as we welcome you inside the Hershey Center tonight on a big night for Toronto basketball.
When you're looking at the final game after being down 0-1 with your backs against the wall, when you haven't lost in the playoffs, definitely is championship or bust, especially when you have the best record in the D-League this season, 39-11 they finish. It's championship or bust, and you look at the way they've played, and I think they have everything to lose and everything against them on their shoulders, and it's kind of the Vipers to take from them.
The winner wins the title tonight. You saw the trophy they're going to take home. I'm not sure what we're going to see tonight, though.
Like I said, we ain't worried about what they're doing. It's all about us tonight, man. So it's important for us to meet the requirements of our requirements, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's required to do something. Do your job in here tonight, man. And we fought hard as hell all season to have the right to play in this building, where I don't think we lost it. I don't know when. So we can't let anybody stop our destiny of what we talked about we wanted to do and what we wanted to accomplish. Everybody do what they do tonight, but whatever we do, we're gonna be dominant. Let's go. Come on, man, together. 1, 2, 3, together. Come on, see it.
When we talked to him about this, and he said, I don't care whether I'm playing with the Toronto Raptors, with the Raptors 905. He said, I take the same attitude, the same mentality into every game. When I was called up to play with the Toronto Raptors, he said, guys like DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, they told me just be yourself. Play the way you play, do your thing. Don't try and change your game or adjust. Just play how you could play. He said that was a huge boost to his confidence, and you can just tell in his demeanor, he's someone that doesn't get rattled, and he's made such a major impact for this Raptors team. Have to pull this team out of the zone, force you to guard man.
VanVleet, he has 10 points in about the last minute and a half. VanVleet was with the big club, the Toronto Raptors, for the first 5 games of their series against the Milwaukee Bucks. He was assigned to the Raptors 905 for Game 2, and again in Game 3. Fred VanVleet, 12 points in the first half.
Into the ball a little bit more. When Williams we got a load, bro. I don't think he passed one time from the baseline. Somebody got to be there loaded to him at the nail. Take a charge. Tighten up, man. We good. Tighten up. Yep. Stop rebounds. Keep spreading them out.
First 5 minutes.
As we take a look at what Fred VanVleet brings to the
This
floor.
is just what he brings to the table. I mean, watch him, his patience, his prodding. He gets the defense to suck and collapse in. It leaves Caboclo open for 3. But he just has such a calming presence for the 905. We saw that in Game 2. Understands where to put the ball, when, who to get the ball to, and a great feel for the game.
VanVleet bumps and got that to go. He is a crafty little point guard. Nobody drafted him. Didn't matter. Fred VanVleet, an NBA player, played 37 games for the Raptors in the regular season. And that is how it ends. Raptors 905, in their second season of existence, win the D-League championship for first-year Coach of the Year, Jerry Stackhouse.
And your Raptors 905 NBA Development League champions.
We trusted them, and it definitely paid off to make it to this point, obviously, and to finish it off here at home was great. I think maybe the best record in the league, if I'm right. And just trusting him and everything he asked the guys and myself to do, and that's what we try to do.
Chicago and Rockford are similar in terms of weather, but it's two completely different cities, two different cultures. I never try to claim to be from Chicago. I always try to make it distinction between Rockford and Chicago. And the only roots I have here is just from playing basketball growing up. All of the big tournaments were here. Most of the good competition was here. And if you could come here and, play against the best of Chicago, that you'll be all right. And that was just our thing growing up, just trying to get that respect. But yeah, I try to make that distinction for sure that I'm from Rockford and it's close to Chicago, but, it's two totally different things.
I am very familiar with Rockford. In fact, I've had some conversations with Fred over the last 2 years about his high school ball. He was a great high school star, went to Wichita State, which is well chronicled.
So what's the ticket situation?
Nah, not too many. I usually keep it pretty light, just immediate family. Friends of the family, I usually tell them just to buy them just in case, because you never know how many you can get. I know Jonas has got a lot of people here because with the Lithuania, there's a huge Lithuanian population here, so I always try to be careful with that, mindful of, trying to stretch myself too thin, so I usually just keep, it's probably the most I've had, honestly. Just because people, obviously I'm playing now, everybody wants to come see.
See, that's done. You're all set. Appreciate it. Let's do that.
Come on, we back on the road. Let's get a win for Freddie tonight. Win on three, 1, 2, 3. Win!
Being home for Christmas last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, and then now having 2 games back-to-back where we're in the area, be able to see my family for a few days is priceless.
Matt, as much as you talk about DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry in the fourth quarter, another face that we're seeing regularly in the fourth is Fred VanVleet, often out there with the starters closing games, just like he was a couple of nights ago during the 52-point performance for DeMar DeRozan. And Fred said, basically, I have to guard my position, play defense, but also on the offensive end, I have to take pressure off of DeMar and Kyle. It's subtle things like that I have to do. He said, much like DeMar, when he was getting trapped, I was able to get open, to make the next pass, to make the next play. The fact that the team and the coaching staff trust me to be out there is absolutely huge.
It's a great story, and I think it's a great lesson for everyone as far as making the most of an opportunity. He was given an opportunity, and he has made an NBA career out of it because of his hustle, his tenacity, his basketball IQ, and he wants it. And I think whatever kind of work we're in, whether it's basketball, broadcasting, whether you sell insurance, whatever the case may be, take that opportunity and maximize your skill set. And I think that's what we're talking about with Fred.
CJ quickly now over to DeLon. Here's Steady Freddy, corner three, and it's good. Here's Fred, driving, attacking, left hand, off the window, and back in the Midwest. Building full of Rockford, Illinois fans of Fred VanVleet. The Raptors come away with a victory, 124-115. For the first time since December 31st of 2013, the Raptors win in Chicago behind 35 from DeRozan and 25-13 from DeLon Wright.
Congratulations. It's so sharp. Thank you. That's what I said. So I'm like, I put her first class. If she's traveling with all the kids,
so once y'all go,
she's at least going to go first class. Hi, baby. Say hi. Look at you. Oh, she still has her blanket.
She does. Yes.
What's up, baby?
How are you, man?
Good.
You good?
Good.
I like that.
What's up?
Say hey.
What's up?
You are doing the signing today.
Right. Might as well put her name on it.
You look like your pops.
Thank you. Don't let my wife hear that.
She does this all day, every day.
She sleeps well.
Yeah, it's really good.
She sleeps all night.
Yeah.
All night?
Like 9 hours.
I was gonna say 9-10 hours straight.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That's awesome.
Knock on some wood or something.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, it's interesting. You look at a kid like Fred VanVleet and a guy like Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green, they can relate. They played with a guy like Patty Mills in San Antonio, right? Big motor, clutch, tough, winner. And Fred VanVleet's got a lot of that same makeup as a kid like Patty Mills who lays it all on the line. And Fred VanVleet had a terrific year for the Raptors last year.
The window open for him. Window of opportunity when DeLon Wright was injured. He stepped in and he took advantage of it in the offseason. Signed a 2-year, $18 million contract.
He earned it, man.
Yes, he did.
Nope, he's mine. Signed his life away. Congratulations, brother.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Great day for us. Another big day, I think, for the Raptors. First of all, we want to say thank you to the Launchpad guys and the young kids around here. You guys give us the opportunity to try and give back, and for Fred VanVleet to have the opportunity here today. Not many people know how much he does for the kids and his association with Launchpad. So thank you, Launchpad. Thank you, the kids of this community, for giving us the opportunity and MLSC the opportunity to work with you every day. And thank you, Fred.
What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Come on. What's up? Don't be shy. Don't be shy. What's up, man? How y'all doing? Y'all good? Y'all was just making a lot of noise now. It's real quiet over here. Good to see y'all, man. Everybody doing okay?
Yeah!
Okay, there we go. I'm good, man. I'm good. Blessed.
What do you think about kids playing basketball?
What do I think about it?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I've been playing. No, you don't want them problems.
Oh!
I've been playing.
Challenge all your teammates.
Yeah, I'll play you for real though, but I've been playing since I was 5, so any kids that play basketball, I encourage it.
So Fred, they're all working their first job this summer. What advice do you have
First job.
to like really get started in your first time going at it?
just go hard, man. I mean, you guys everybody comes from different situations, obviously, but you're blessed to be in a space like this and to have people around you that care enough to work with you. Just take advantage of it, because it's not always that easy. And obviously, you guys may come from tough situations, or you know people who come from tough situations. So I would just say, don't take any of this stuff for granted, and just appreciate it every day and try to make the most of it.
That was deep.
Deep.
Yeah.
All right, we're good.
To Fred and his family, congratulations. This is awesome. We're proud of him. We are proud to move on as an organization, signing Fred today. So congratulations, Fred. Congratulations to your family.
I just want to thank, obviously, ownership, the entire Raptors organization. You know, these guys sitting next to me, Bobby, Masai, Dan Tozman, the entire management team for making this thing possible, for taking a chance on me as an undrafted kid coming out of college. Obviously, thank my family. I'm not gonna talk too much, y'all gonna have me up here crying, but I was just relieved I didn't have to wait. I knew where my home was gonna be. I knew I was coming back home, and you know, they did their part to make me feel that, and we did our end. You know, we could have tried to stay and wait around, but there was no point when I knew where I wanted to be.
Now on the switch, picks up VanVleet. What a move by Fred VanVleet. Toronto Raptors will come away with a victory, 123-114 in overtime, and improved to 51-21 as the Raptors take care of the Thunder in overtime.
It's always good to come back home, relieving feeling, especially when you're on the road for a long time, but even like this trip, this late night and early morning. So, you know, you kind of get to unwind a little bit, and obviously come home to your family kind of makes it all worth it at the end of the day. It's hard to put into words. It just kind of, you know, makes everything go away, whatever it is. You know, body's hurting, you know, maybe you had a good game, maybe you had a bad game, and kind of honestly none of that stuff matters once you see her. And if she's not awake, I usually wake her up and she's smiling and laughing and playing, and that's kind of the only thing that matters. So for that moment there, it's kind of like a little bit of an escape for me, just to get away from everything else that, you know, we're so consumed with, and just be able to see her and hold her and kiss her, and, you know, it's priceless.
Good feeling to have him back, especially after long trips. It feels like 2 months. So just having him home and having us like a family again, it's the best feeling ever.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hi. Hi. Come here. Hey. Oh, hey, boo. Say hi. Say hi. You cannot do that. You love the little mics, huh? Daniel kiss. Mwah. You say hi. You say hi. Say hi. Hi.
Yeah, I mean, just for your own ego and development, right, with your baby, and, you know, my daughter, just, you miss so much time that you kind of can get in your own head a little bit. You start to feel guilty, but you know, you just want to be there. You want to be around. You want to do all the little things that you're supposed to do that normal parents get to do all the time that we don't always get to do. But And then, you know, obviously having a partner who has her 24/7 and who's able to take that responsibility on and do a great job. Trying to want to give them a break sometimes too, so they don't go crazy. Because it's definitely not easy. Sanai, come here. You're too close. Come here.
Fred is an amazing father. He's such a, he's such a great role model for her. She loves her dad, looks up to him. He's, everything I could have imagined him to be, and then some, you know. So I'm glad she gets to experience this with him, and he's just able to be a part of her life, you know.
Get it, girl. Go, go, go. It probably depends on the individual, but for me, you know, I think it's a different level of mental, approach to whatever you're doing. And for me, it just put things in great perspective again. It's another motivating factor, and it's just a comfortability level. As you mature, and you know, the best players in our game are usually a little bit older and mature and been through some things. And obviously, as you have kids, that adds about 10 years on you right there. So it's just a different level. You're kind of at peace mentally, even when everything is so hectic around you. Just having a baby it can kind of center everything up for you in your life and kind of make everything make sense. So ever since she was born, I feel like I've been a different person and for the better.
How are you? Oh, giving hugs. Oh. Say hi.
You're so damn friendly.
Yeah, look at her face. It was pretty tough, especially on me, because I was more so worried, you know, how serious it was. It's like one of his first surgeries, so I'm all paranoid, couldn't be there. So I don't know. I think it was definitely tough, mainly on him, obviously, but me because I'm a worry hog, and I'm how long is it gonna be? When are you gonna get back? I just wanted him to get back to himself. That was the main thing. So.
Not playing, you kind of can go crazy a little bit. You don't realize how much of a routine you get in until you're not in that routine no more. So obviously being at home, my family was a great thing for me, just to be able to stay grounded, spend some more time with my daughter, you know, my girl, and they keep you from going crazy. I couldn't imagine being out, you know, whatever it was, 5 weeks and being at home by myself, just alone with my thoughts and you get bored really fast. And so, you know, they keep you grounded and they keep you focused, and they're just there to, obviously when I first got surgery, you know, my girl's there to take care of me and make sure everything is all right. So it's a huge blessing. What is that?
Oh, Bubbles.
Bubbles! Bubbles!
I was so happy for him. That was my main concern with him coming back so soon. I was is your hand okay? Is it, you know, I was questioning him, the doctor said it's okay, you know, should you wait a little longer? But no, it was good to have him back and playing so well. He had an amazing first game back, so that was good.
Ready? 1, 2. Wow. Oh, wow. You come back re-energized and fresh, and it feels like the beginning of the season again. So you just kind of come back and play better, and shots are falling right now. It's going well, and when you're banged up like that, it's a huge blessing to be able to come back, you know, healthy again and start all over and just, you know, I feel re-energized and recharged. So hopefully, you know, be able to put together something and keep it going into the playoffs. Wow. Just from the beginning, just being just super excited to be playing in the playoffs. Last year I was hurt, so I was playing, but I was kind of not really sure of myself, and so I couldn't have the impact that I wanted to on the playoffs. And so coming into the Orlando series, I felt great, and I was really just excited to be back out there. And then we kind of dealt with some shifts in our team in terms of bench rotations and trying to figure out what our playoff rotation would look like. And so minutes were down and up, and the offense was all over the place. And so I got caught up in that a little bit. And then to be able to just break through that, and I think once we got out of the Philly series, Milwaukee was more free-flowing and more guys and even more players. And like you said, being down 0-2, I think we got blown out one of those games. So the bench got to play a little bit, and we got our rhythm and feel. Norman played great, and he was a big part of us getting out of that series, and we just try to build on that going forward.
Golden State waiting. The representative from the West. Who will grab the East? There you go. Fred VanVleet wants it. He's got 18, and the Raptors lead by 1.
Yeah, that's what you work for. You just want to be, obviously you're happy to be a part of the team, but you want to be one of those guys who's helping getting us over the hump. You know what your superstars are going to do. You know what those guys are going to give you every night. But it's kind of up to the bench guys in the playoffs to either take you over the hump or not. And so I think just being a key factor in a lot of those wins, along with the other guys coming off the bench to kind of take us over the hump was special for us.
A floater to Fred. Fred with the three. Bang on. Bucket and bucket. Raptors by 1.
The thing about it is he works so hard and consistently. That's why we never wavered on him. You don't waver on a guy like that because he continued to work on his game, and I've seen the work that he's put in the last couple of years. He just worked and worked and worked, and 4 threes in the fourth quarter. It's big. It's big.
VanVleet. What a step back, and he drills a three. Big bucket. Fred VanVleet releasing all the energy. He's got 12 in the corner. Curry lets it fly. Canada, the NBA title is yours. The Toronto Raptors are the 2019 NBA champions.
It's hard to put into words. I haven't quite, found the words to describe how it feels. I think it's just a little bit of vindication and just a little bit of, just feeling like everything that I always worked for and everything that I believed and my family believed in me was right and true. And so having to go through the fire and having to get it the hard way and take the bumps and the bruises and nothing given to me, everything earned, and had to get it the hard way and the long way, and all of those things, it makes it so much sweeter to be at the top, knowing what it took to get to the top. You can appreciate the journey so much more. And so just to be here as an NBA champion is nothing short of amazing, and it's something that I hold on for a long time, and I'm only 3 years in, so I got a lot more to do, but it feels pretty good right now.